Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Step Through the Ropes, Volume 23. There was a great wrestler throughout the 1980s known as Ronnie Garvin. When he worked for Jim Crockett Promotions, he was nicknamed the Hands of Stone through his tremendous punching ability. He got to work with Tully Blanchard for the National Heavyweight Championship in tape fist matches. He actually became NWA World Champion, defeating Ric Flair in 1987, only to lose it back to Flair 2 months later. He was Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion when he defeated Black Bart. And I understand he was supposed to looked like he was going to have a feud with Nikita Koloff over the U.S. title, but that was scratched when Nikita had become a babyface right after Magnum TA's career-ending car accident. In 1988, Ronnie Garvin actually attacked the late American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in his match, costing him a chance to defeat Barry Windham for the U.S. Championship at the 1988 Great American Bash pay-per-view. And Garvin had aligned himself with the late Gary Hart as his manager, and Garvin and Dusty, I guess they were going to start feuding, but Garvin ended up leaving the company for some reason. In late 1988, he traveled to the AWA for the late Vern Gagne. He feuded with Greg Gagne over the AWA Television Championship, which culminated with Greg Gagne defeating Garvin to win the vacant AWA TV title. Garvin also had gone down to Puerto Rico to wrestle for the World Wrestling Council, where he was their champion, defeating Carlos Colon, only for Colon to win it back. But in December 1988, Garvin had joined the World Wrestling Federation and was branded Rugged Ronnie Garvin. At first, he was going through enhancement talent. He was in the 1989 Royal Rumble, only to be eliminated by the late Andre the Giant. And then came, WrestleMania 5, Garvin lost to the late Dino Bravo. And then after WrestleMania 5, he started his one and only program in the WWF as he defeated Greg the Hammer Valentine on a Superstars taping. And after the match, Valentine challenged Garvin to a rematch where Valentine vowed to retire if he lost. And Valentine said, would Garvin put his career on the line too? So the rematch happened. Valentine pinned Garvin, and as a result, Garvin had to retire. But then a week later on television, Garvin interrupts Valentine's promo and says, yes, I'm a man of my word. I said I'd retire. I'm no longer a professional wrestler, but I'm now a referee. And Ronnie Garvin basically spent the next few months refereeing, and pretty much was a troubleshooting referee. His first match, he refereed a match between the Red Rooster and Iron Mike Sharp, rest his soul. Rooster was victorious, and after the match, Sharp pushed Garvin, and Garvin rebounded off the ropes and knocked Sharp for a loop. And then eventually, I forgot where the Superstars taping was, Garvin refereed a match involving Dino Bravo, where Bravo put his opponent in the Tree of Woe, and Bravo wouldn't listen to Garvin, and Garvin helped the preliminary guy out from the Tree of Woe and awarded him the match on disqualification. And afterwards, Garvin and Bravo brawled. And the late Jack Tunney, who was the on-air president of the company at the time, he said the next time Garvin gets in an altercation with a wrestler, it's going to result in a suspension. So then at the Saturday Night's Main Event that aired in July 1989, Garvin refereed a match between Greg Valentine and the late Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Garvin tried to keep a cool head throughout the match, but Garvin eventually cold-cocked Valentine. Snuka capitalized and pinned Valentine. After the match ended, Valentine tried to attack Garvin. Garvin flipped him over the top rope out of the ring. And then Jack Tunney came on TV and announced that Garvin was suspended as a referee. Then at SummerSlam 89, talk about pulling all these loopholes here. Garvin ring announced Valentine's match with the late Hercules at the SummerSlam 89 pay-per-view, and Garvin pretty much made fun of Valentine's weight, and I forgot what else he said. Valentine had pinned Hercules with his feet on the ropes. The referee did not see it, but Garvin declared Hercules the winner. Valentine attacks Garvin. Hercules and Valentine start brawling after the match. Garvin then knocks Valentine with a right hand, knocking him out of the ring. And then they said Valentine went to Jack Tunney to have Garvin reinstated so they could duke it out in the ring. Garvin was a member of Jim Duggan's 4x4's team, as Garvin, Duggan, Hercules, and Bret Hart were defeated by the King's Court, Randy Savage, Greg Valentine, Dino Bravo, and Earthquake, substituting for the Widowmaker Barry Windham at the 1989 Survivor Series. The King's Court was victorious in that one. Also in the process, by this point, Greg Valentine had been wearing a shin guard on his leg since like mid-1988, and Ronnie Garvin came up with his own shin guard, which he named the Hammer Jammer. And this all culminated at the 1990 Royal Rumble, as Garvin and Valentine went one-on-one in what was very rare at the time, a submission match. And a very hard-hitting stiff fest these two men had. This is way before wrestlers hitting hard and working stiff was cool. I don't know if both men forgot that there were no pinfalls in this match. They kept going for the pin throughout the match. Valentine put the figure 4 on Garvin, and Garvin was smiling and making funny faces at Valentine while he had him in the hold. Valentine had an old body vice backbreaker on Garvin. Garvin at one point used the Indian Deathlock on Valentine, but he did not submit. Eventually, Valentine's manager Jimmy Hart takes off Garvin's Hammer Jammer shin guard. Valentine puts Garvin in the figure 4, and Garvin really sold that leg from that point on. Garvin press slammed Valentine off the top rope and took off Valentine's shin guard, which was named the Heartbreaker. Garvin hit Valentine with a punch, and he got tied up in the ropes. Garvin was going to use the Heartbreaker, the Heartbreaker shin guard that Valentine would wear. Jimmy Hart came up to the apron. Garvin tossed him into the ring. Garvin was going to hit Hart. Valentine got untied to the ropes. Garvin hits Valentine with the Heartbreaker shin guard, and then he puts on what was referred to as the reverse figure 4, which most of us fans know as the Scorpion Deathlock that Sting is known for, and then Bret Hart eventually used as the Sharpshooter. And Garvin was victorious over Valentine, and Jesse the Body Ventura claimed that Valentine shook his head no, and I don't know what the deal was, but Garvin was victorious, and even after letting go of the hold, Garvin was still selling his leg. And then, unfortunately, everything pretty much went downhill for Ronnie Garvin. He was being fed to the top heels at the time. He did a stretcher job for Earthquake in Madison Square Garden. He lost to Rick Rude, Rick Martel, Sergeant Slaughter, when Slaughter's finisher was the Noogies, or as I called it, the Knucklehead. Then Garvin was put in tag matches with preliminary wrestlers and enhancement talent when they were losing tag matches to the likes of Demolition and Rhythm and Blues. And I'd say by the end of 1990, Ronnie Garvin got out of there and was out of the promotion, and he had left. So what do you think, folks? Do you think Rugged Ronnie Garvin was lost in the shuffle in the WWF? Do you think it was a dumb idea making him a referee for a few months in 1989? Let me know what you think in the comments, folks. And I will have more wrestling subjects in the Step Through the Ropes series.